G'day, Big V. Welcome back to our senior podcast. We have our champ women here today, and we're going to briefly go over what is a fantastic award that gets given to a special player at the end of the year. Mark, what is this award?
Yeah, so we're talking about the Youth Player of the Year, which is all the youth eligible players who are playing in the senior competition. Effectively, people at the end of the season will be voting on who they think was the strongest. And let's start it off with Bulleen, who had a couple of players in there who surprised us, Ted.
Yeah, absolutely. We were just talking about this off camera that behind Bontempelli, their next three top scorers who have played 12, 12, and 7 games are their highest scorers of Van Ness, Debon, and I'm going to hopefully say this right, Maltese.
Like the Maltesers, Ted.
I like that.
No, they've been really impressive, particularly Diamond. That she's, I believe 22 and averaging 12.6 points a game, and it's been a huge part of Bulleen's success this year. And I think the fact that she's young, Bulleen will be hoping they can keep this core around. Bontempelli be around a little bit longer, or they can hopefully continue to build a strong program as they've seen some early success this year.
Absolutely, and look to one of those to be in the running for this, as Tabitha, who was in the running for it last year at Bulleen Junior as well.
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's go to Camberwell. Not a super young roster for Camberwell, who have just moved up from Division 1 this year, but Eilish Fian has been coming off the bench. Before, I believe she might have headed off to Europe. But 4.5 points a game and 5 rebounds a game to go with it. She's a young, developing big, showing some real promise in her first season of Championship women basketball.
Yeah, fantastic. Over at McKinnon, we have Saray Beveridge, another player who is coming off the bench and adding value where she can. Just playing the 10 minutes, but she's averaging 4 points per game in those minutes. A team that, relies heavily on Suckling and Gray, but, when they do need their break, there are these younger girls that are coming through and adding value, which is great to see.
Yeah, her and Eloise Leonard have been we're probably looking there at McKinnon's next stars, I guess. So yeah. Good to see them coming through. On to Sherbrooke, who have young Tegan Burton and Ari, Dowsett sounds good. Not huge numbers, but it's good to see them starting to integrate into that Championship women's program.
Absolutely. They're playing pretty much every game. They're both getting minutes as well, averaging both around that 10-minute mark. But no, like you said, good to see them, getting on the floor and adding value, or at least, getting ready, prepared, staying prepared.
Getting some experience ready for when some of the other girls move on.
Absolutely.
Over to Pakenham, they've got the sharp-shooting Rhiannon Gallagher, who's played in 9 games, 11 minutes a game and just under 3 points a game. Hasn't quite got a shot going at Championship level yet.
No, not quite. Not as much as she probably thought she would, converting from Youth League. But no, it is good to see her join and participate as much as she can.
And Hayley Letts is the other one, who's averaging 5 points a game. Has started in a game as well. Shoots the ball pretty well from deep. But yeah, showing some good young talent coming through there at Pakenham. And then over to Sunbury, Ted.
Yeah, Sunbury are an interesting one because we've got quite a big list here of all these Youth League eligible players that are, adding value to this Sunbury team. A team that, it's probably expected with the amount of young talent as to where their record stands with sort of the experienced players, filling the top of the ladder in Champ Women. So you got, Madison Ford and Abby Hildebrand just to start off, 2 players that are, getting significant minutes and adding value where they can, but possibly just that inexperience of playing in this position.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the one that stands out for me is Chloe Hildebrand. She'll be thereabouts when it comes to actually winning the Youth Player of the Year. She's averaging just under 11 points a game. Does a bit of everything. She's had some games where she's rebounding the ball really well. She gets a few steals here and there. So she'll be, so far, the ones that we've spoken about, her and Dearborn are the ones who are standing out the most for me right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And lastly, we are at Wyndham with, possibly someone who's going to be there at the end. Let's just say that. Diana Aniev, who, is just dominating the league in her own right now, doesn't really acts
Yeah.
like she's a youth league eligible player.
No, she's 19 years old and she's averaging 19 points a game, and she's an absolute star of the comp, shooting 38% from the 3-point line. And she's certainly not shy in getting those up either, but I can't blame her either. If I shot that well, I'd be launching it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But she'll be a red-hot favourite for this award, and she's a key piece to why Wyndham are having so much success.
Yeah, it really is.
Pleasing thing to see for Wyndham is, despite their success and sitting on top of the table, they have so many young contributors with Alex Connolly, Holly Dolney, Mackenzie Drew, Lauren Jones, Tennille Knight. It's really pleasing to see all this young talent coming through at Wyndham.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And they're all starting to sort of get a little bit more game time. I guess it is increasing. We had a look at this weekend with Amanda Pascal not getting as much court time. So maybe we are sort of seeing Wyndham extend and grow their bench minutes a little bit more in the second half of this year.
Yeah, really planning for the future, which is really pleasing to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, that'll be all for us today, guys. We'll catch you very soon.